welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit different of a vlog. I actually have a separate reading vlog going for spooky horror books. I just finished recording the intro for that. But in the meantime, I'm also doing another reading vlog because I have started rereading the Throne of Glass series. I have read a portion of the series previously about 2 years ago. I had started this as a buddy read, but now it ended up not being the case, and now it's just me. But I figured I would go ahead and continue it, and I've never done like a designated reading vlog like this before, and I figured since I'm going to go back through and I don't really remember that much about the series, might as well go ahead and vlog it. So I believe the last book I read, I want to say I stopped at, I think the last full book I read in the series was Heir of Fire. But like I said, I don't really remember much of it. It was a few years ago. And I do have the whole series. I was very lucky that when I worked my previous job in a casino, one of the employees let me borrow the whole series. She's actually the employee who gave me her ACOTAR books to read and got me into ACOTAR. And then after ACOTAR, I loved it so much that she gave me these and she let me borrow the entire series. Physical hard copy books, or some of them are paperback, and a couple of hard copies. But the entire physical set of all 6 or 7 books, how many there are. So, which was super sweet of her. And then, like, as I was reading them, her husband ended up buying her like a whole new set. I think like a new version or new edition or something with new covers, I don't remember, came out, and he ended up buying her a whole new set of the books. So she let me keep her old set, which was super nice. So so now that these are mine and I can, I can keep them, I have started tapping. I did actually already start this. Originally I thought, like I said, that it was going to be a buddy read, and I was going to try to get through it pretty quickly. But now that it's just me, I'm going to take my time with it. I'm going to kind of fit it in between the horror books that I'm reading. And so I thought, like I said, that I would do a vlog. So I'm right now on chapter 11. So I am 76 pages in. So I'll quickly go through like what I've read so far and just some of the places that I've tabbed and the different things that I've noticed along the way. I didn't remember as much from this book as I thought, like I said. But I am excited to keep going through it. Actually, I'm really liking it. And I did like it the first time. Last time I did start with the Assassin's Blade, which is like the novella before the actual series starts. But I do remember most of how that went, and I don't think it had like a huge, like you don't have to have read read the novella, the Assassin's Blade, to know what's going on in here. So I didn't think I really needed to reread that. So yeah, so what I've read so far, let's see. So I do have this, my little key for my tabs as I went through. So one of the first notes I wrote was that I did like how the Assassin's Blade really shows, I think her name is pronounced Selena. I could totally be saying that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how you say it. It really showed more of her like assassin side, and we got more of that storyline versus now when she's like in the palace and going through everything. So I did like that we got to see more of that side in the Assassin's Blade. One of the things that I've really been like kind of tracking in the books is like the difference between Selena and, again, some of these names are hard to pronounce. I think it's Cole, the captain of the Royal Guard. Like the difference in their personalities. Selena is so like cocky and sure of herself. Even being in the mines like a prisoner, she still has that like that cockiness and that just like assurance that she knows who she is. She knows she's an assassin. She knows how good she is. She hasn't like lost that. So there's a part where she says, as if she'd lose her bearings that easily. She might have been insulted if he wasn't trying so hard. So like she kind of like laughs to herself, like, how could they think that I would get lost so easily? And there's a lot of instances like that. And compared to Cole, who is the captain of the Royal Guard, and he is so like also self-assured, but in a different way. Like he's very self-righteous and very like sees everything black and white. Like this is right and this is wrong, and you're a criminal. And he very frequently calls her a criminal. And just his sense of like morality is just like in your face, and he makes sure you know like what he thinks of you. Then I had totally forgotten this until I got to this part, and this is going to be spoilery. So if you haven't read the series, this may not be the video for you, because there probably are going to be spoilers. There's a part where they're talking about how, you know, magic has vanished from the kingdom. And at that point, I hadn't remembered that Dorian has magic, that he is able to use magic. I had completely forgotten that, and it's such a it's such a crazy thing that the king has wiped out magic and killed all these people to get rid of magic, and which is totally hypocritical based on what happens later. But his own son has magic right in his house, and he doesn't even know it, or doesn't know it yet. What else? And again, I really love the way their personalities come through. Dorian also, one of the first things he says, so one of the dukes, Duke Parrington, forces Celaena to bow to Dorian, and he says, I don't quite comprehend why you'd force someone to bow when the purpose of the gesture is to display allegiance and respect. So he knows she doesn't respect him. He knows she's not, she doesn't have allegiance to him. She's not loyal to him. So he says, you know, why make her bow? That's not what that's meant. You know, she doesn't mean it. So I really like that he is also very honest and like blunt. It was really sad. This was something else that I hadn't remembered, that Celaena had tried to basically commit suicide by trying to reach the wall of the mines. And she knows that anyone who attempts that is usually killed. So she knew that it was a suicide attempt, to try to reach the wall and escape the mines. But then she's also, again, so cocky, because while he's telling the story, she says, you know, or she asks Cole, how far do slaves make it from the mines when they try to escape? And he says, 3 feet. And Celaena made it, and it doesn't say how far she made it, but she made it really close, like further than anybody else. So again, she has that same cockiness, like Cole is telling the prince what happened, and he just says that she tried to escape, basically. And she says, that's not even the best part. And so she's like, you're not even telling him like what I achieved. And so again, even though it's kind of a sad thing, because she was basically trying to commit suicide because she was at her wit's end in the mines, she still has that cockiness. And then same thing with Cole. Like again, he says, that's all you have to offer as an explanation for what you did. You killed the overseer and 23 sentries before you were caught. So like, he's like, how can you make light of this? You killed all these people. So again, that like self-righteousness and morality. So then Celaena is taken to the palace, or offered the opportunity to become the king's champion, which is basically just like his hired hand. You know, she's now his assassin, basically. Also, I highlight this part where like Dorian is talking about how they haven't told the court that Celaena is actually as young as she is. A lot of people assume that, being the like known assassin that she is, that she would be older, but she's actually pretty young. I think she's only like 18 or 19. And he says, what would our enemies know if they knew we'd all been petrified of a girl? Like, so it's okay to be petrified of a woman, but it's not okay to be petrified of a young one? Like, what difference does it make? So that was interesting. And then again, Cole tells her, like, it proves that you're a criminal and that we shouldn't immediately trust you with the king's private business. Which, I mean, duh. You know, you just took her out of the mines. Like, she was a prisoner, so I get, like, why would you trust her? But, like, he just continually points out that she's a criminal. And again, they're talking about the other, like, candidates in this competition. And she says, how difficult could it be to outshine, outsmart, and then obliterate the competition, or the competitors? And these competitors are like criminals and other assassins and like hardened men. She's the only woman in this competition, but she doesn't doubt herself at all. And then like the juxtaposition of her being this hardened assassin and so like cocky, but then this part where she says, or like that says, she loved clothes, loved the feeling of silk, of velvet, of satin, of suede and chiffon. Was fascinated by the grace of seams. So she's a girl. She's a girly girl. She loves clothes. She loves getting dressed up, you know, compared to like this hardened assassin who's not afraid of all these men. And like, it's okay to be both. And then I had also kind of forgotten like who Celaena really is, you know, where she comes from. And there was a part where she like reminds herself that even if she's now free, there are others who are not. And then also I had forgotten that she has magic also. So again, there's a part where they're talking about magic being gone. They're in this forest that's supposedly full of like these magic creatures. And she says, it had been a while since she'd contemplated the gifts she'd lost, though the memory of her abilities haunted her dreams. Her gifts might have destroyed, and then later, like further down it says, her gifts might have destroyed her by this point. So like she did have magic. She did have these powers. And as she grew, got older, and got, you know, stronger, so did her magic, so did these gifts. And I hadn't remembered that. And just again, like Cole pointing out, like not even just with her, but like just anybody that he deems like immoral. He says you shouldn't expect to find honor among such company, talking about like the assassins. It's crazy to me, the hypocrisy of a lot of these like royalty and these kings in these books, in so many of these like fantasy books, where this king is so like self-righteous and thinks he's a god basically, and he keeps saying my kingdom and my people, and you know, I'm your king. And but she, like when she sees him, she to herself calls him a murderer. He should be hanging from the gallows. He had killed many more than she, people undeserving and defenseless. He destroyed cultures, destroyed invaluable knowledge, destroyed so much of what had once been bright and good. His people should revolt. So it's crazy that these people end up in power, which is so like realistic and like mirrors our own society. It's the people who are in power who are the most hypocritical, who are the ones who do the most wrong, yet they look down on everybody else around them. So yeah, that is everything I have marked for now. Like I said, I'm on chapter 11. Celaena has just gotten to the palace. She's just met with the king, and the tournament is about to officially start. So I'm going to read more tonight, and I will check back in then. Hey guys, welcome back. So it has been a little bit since I have updated this vlog. I don't even remember when I started this. I think I started this vlog back in like October, November. It's now February. Today's actually Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day to those of you who celebrate, who like Valentine's Day, all that. Hope you have a great day. So I am still reading Throne of Glass. I do want to update this vlog. I was thinking about honestly just kind of scrapping the vlog and not even worrying about it, but I do want to vlog reading the entire series. So I'm gonna keep with it. I'm not gonna give it up just yet. Like I said, I am still reading it. I am, let's see, about 270 pages in, and as you can see, I have been tabbing it. Really liking this. I forgot how much I did really like this book and the beginning of this series. I have not gotten to the part where Celaena and Dorian get together. I don't remember if that actually happens in this book or if it's in the next book. In the next book, but I forgot how much I really like this. I don't think, or I know I can say that I don't like this series as much as I did ACOTAR. Those books always just pull me right in, and once I start, I can't stop. But this is definitely a close second. It's definitely good. Also now Ray, my friend, is reading it as well. We're going to buddy read it, so she has caught up. We're both in the same place now, so we're going to start discussing, talking about it, all of that. So that will hopefully help me keep going and to progress through the rest of the series. I know the latter half of the book is when things really like ramp up, and as the tournament comes to an end and all that, things really start ramping up. So I'm excited to keep going. When I get to the end, I'll talk about maybe some of the different things that I tagged, some of the different quotes I liked, things like that. It has been a little bit since I picked it up. I think it's been like a week. I've been focusing on other stuff for other vlogs and all that. But I do plan on picking it back up tonight. So I will check back in probably sometime tomorrow when I have updated thoughts and all that. So but yeah, this was just a quick like follow-up, check in again to say that I am still doing this. I'm still here. And yeah, I will check back in soon. So I finished Throne of Glass, and then I thought that I had finished an outro, a wrap-up of my reading that book, and now I can't find that footage anywhere. So this is like, I think I finished Throne of Glass like a week and a half ago. So this is future me coming back to you guys to let you know that I did finish Throne of Glass. I finished it like mid-February, I believe. I actually ended up really enjoying it this time compared to the first time I read it. I remember liking these subsequent books more the first time around, and I think that's probably going to be the case again. But I did really enjoy this more this time than last time. Maybe because I was already familiar with the characters, and I already have somewhat of an idea of kind of where things are going to go and what the trajectory of the story is like. But I really liked seeing kind of like the origin of Celaena's story, how she came to be in you know, the glass castle, how she met Dorian, how she met Cole, and you know, just the whole journey of her going through the tournament, or whatever we're gonna call it, to become the King's champion, and then eventually becoming the champion. As you can see, I did put some tabs in here. I did mark some different things that I thought were like foreshadowing for future books, or just quotes that I ended up liking, funny moments that I really liked. There's parts where you can see the like the dynamic between Celaena and the two men kind of shifting and starting to change. I think that's definitely more of a focus in the second book, but in this one you can see specifically for Cole his like his mistrust for her and his like suspicions of her slowly start to change and kind of fade away throughout the book. There's a part here about a little bit more than halfway through probably, where she's saying actually this part is with Dorian, who was the same, you know, he wasn't really sure about her. I don't know if I would say that he ever really like mistrusted her or was suspicious of her. I think that was definitely more like the captain of the guard, which was kind of his job. But here Dorian says that he says what terrified him even more was that he trusted her and he didn't know what that meant about himself. So again, his like opinions of her are starting to shift and change. They are becoming friends. That's one of the things that I did really like about the 3 or 4 books I read the first time, was Dorian and Celaena's friendship, and their relationship and their banter, and I just really liked seeing the two of them together. Let's see what else I marked in here. One of the things that I had kind of forgotten about was Coltane, I think is how you say her name, Caltane. I think I remember kind of how her story progresses in the next book. No, I had completely forgotten about her, and when I started reading it and her character came up, then then obviously I was reminded of her. But before, I had totally forgotten about her, and just the way that she was manipulated by the king and by Duke Parrington, and how they basically have her like drugged the whole time, and they're completely manipulating her, and then the way that she was framed for trying to, or for poisoning Celaena, and just she kind of had a, she's definitely not the best person, but it was kind of a shitty situation for her, the way they took advantage of her. I've been trying to come up with, trying to come up with like a list of good like book quotes that I could put on cups and maybe start like a bookish line. And here towards the end of the book, it's like one of the last chapters, Elena says to Celaena, you could rattle the stars, you could do anything if you only dared, and you know it too, and deep down you know it too, that's what scares you most. I think that would be a great quote to put on a cup. Either you could rattle the stars, or you could rattle the stars, you could do anything if you only dared. I really love that as a quote, and that would actually really be cute on like a canvas or something maybe. So I marked that down so that I can work on that. But yeah, this was really good. I enjoyed it. I'm excited to move on into the next book of the series. As spoiler, I did already start Crown of Midnight. I've already started the vlog for that. Ray and I are doing a buddy read for that as well, so I'm excited to continue on there. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. I haven't edited this at this point in the future yet, so I'm not sure exactly how much like footage I got, but hopefully it's a good amount. Hopefully I was able to get my thoughts across and give you guys a good little vlog on this, and then I will have another one coming out here soon, sometime in March, for Crown of Midnight. So hopefully that one I will actually finish in March, and it won't take me the span of like 5 months like this one did. I think I started this vlog back in like October or something. So yeah, that is it for this one. Thank you for following along. I hope you enjoyed this and that you are looking forward to other reading vlogs from me. Please comment down below. Let me know if you've read this series, what you thought of it. Let me know what you thought of the later books. I did only get to the 3rd or 4th book, so I have no idea what happens in the rest of the series. I have managed to stay pretty blind on it, so let me know what you think about it. Do you love it? Is this series better than ACOTAR? So far, I don't think so. And yeah, please like the video down below and subscribe, and I will see you next time.